morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. We are back this morning, this beautiful morning. We are back today, this new week. We are back. It's always an honor to be back here. Hope you are doing well too. I'm alive. God has been good. God has been faithful. Happy to see you. Good morning, Dr. Brian. I'm happy to be back here this morning. Today I first apologize to 50 people that I have tagged in this class, but yes, I have done it. Today's class is going to involve our devotion and then family dynamics. Each family has dynamics, but we will use a reference of the Bible, and you will go and help yourself and help your own children in the family dynamics. Many things are being hidden in the family, and children suffer, especially the grandchildren or the great-grandchildren, those that come when history was already made and they don't know how things work. It gets so complicated, and sometimes the family dynamics either makes or destroys those into inheritance. It destroys those who come into the families. It destroys those within the family. If you don't sit down and tell your children, your great-grandchildren, your family dynamics, it will catch up with you. Some of you live a life of you don't care, but someone in the family is going to bring the family dynamics back, and it's going to destroy you whether you like it or not, if you don't handle it the right way. I know what I'm talking about, because I am what I am today because I'm being made by family dynamics. And God respects families because the idea of families came from God. Of course, I have to share myself. When you're not a celebrity, there are things you have to do. That's how it works. That's how it works. Unless you get to that point, that's the only time you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you ever come out of your private wing and you come to the public to help people or one another, depending on your purpose, your personality, your calling, and why you're living, things work different. I told you we have different professionals. We have doctors, we have engineers, we have teachers, we have accountants, we have politicians, we have farmers, those into business. Each one of us can be anything we want to be. But among those teams, we have doctors who are outspoken. We have doctors, for them, they did not only study to stay in hospital and clerk, or there are those doctors who are into the managerial level. They are at a managerial level, and they come out to educate people, sensitize people. There are engineers who are like that. There are bankers who are like that. There are farmers who are like that. And all these come from a family, and they come out to work with other people. Now, if for you, you're the type that stays inside, that is you. And you're supposed to support the people who come out. In each family, there are kids who speak for the family. There are kids who go into politics. And as a family, you're supposed to support each other in your different fields. But some of you were not taught from home. That's why it gets complicated and difficult. I am a game changer. I want to help the kids that we give birth to. Then I want to help the kids that call me auntie. They'll later call me Jaja. But now me, I come from a family where I hold a big position. And that thing was hidden when I was young. As much as I used to hear people call me Jaja, Jaja. But when I came to the US, God created me with a mindset of, I don't like doing things when I don't know why. I am a detailed person. Because of the friends I met, I started hating the kind of person I am, and it destroyed me. We will look at all these dynamics so that I can help your child who looks like me, or I can help parents who have kids who are like me. I know you have someone in your house who asks a lot of questions. You have someone in your house who is too detailed. They don't have a summary. I've worked with people who have destroyed me because I'm a detailed person, because I am picky, because these people come from families where they've never seen such things, or they were raised by parents who ignored certain things. And this has destroyed many people in society, that they're people God created and they're supposed to work with people. But because such things, they've destroyed one another. Yet you're supposed to work together, because no one is an island. You're going to meet kids nga bo bali vulgar. You're going to meet kids nga bo bali so outspoken and loud. You're going to meet people nga bo teba respecting abantu naye ate nga bali hard working, nga ye gye yakulira addamu nga bwalaba tebimukwatako. And that is how they were raised. Ebyo ebintu bivaka mu nju mwe tukulira, tebabalimbanga. And there are those people nga bo tebakula, nga ye ebintu byakola nga ali mu ssomero nakati akyabizza. Banne bakuze. There are people nga tebakyasaga nga bwe basaga ngedda. How are you going to work with everyone nga afaanana bw'atyo? Most of you are coming into the political arena. 2026, people like me are coming into the political arena. How are they going to handle? You've seen people nga they are struggling. Abamu bakaabirawo kubanga ye akaaba mangu. Balina ate okukaaba tekitegeeza nti omuntu munafu. Olumu buba busungu. Ng'alaba bw'anaakuvuma tekijja, bw'anaalwana tekijja. Alina okukipinga dignity. Ogenda omulaba ng'atonnyesezza ezziga. Tebuba bunafu. Singa ezziga eryo alikwata n'alissa mu kicupa n'akiwuuba. Most of you think I'm a weak person. You will only know that I'm strong if you've ever come close to me. I suppress my anger into tears. Because mbasobola kuvuma nze gye nakulira tetuweemula. Nze gye nakulira tetulwana. Kati to keep my cool and dignity, I'm going to cry. Because singa nkwata obusungu bwange obwo ne mbujja mu maziga, death occurs. So you have to also understand that there are people in society who are like that. Most of you mufunye ebizibu abanninyiridde when I cry. I used to wonder why my mom gangamba tokaaba totukungula. Ekintu ekyo kirina ebintu bingi. But how will you understand ng'ewammwe they don't talk about such things? Yet you want to operate in society. There are people we batuuka because balina entondo. Entondo, by the way, simbi. It's mainly for sensitive people. And when ngenda n'ensoma ennyo mu Bible, omwoyo omutukuvu alina entondo. Because tagaba na kitiibwa. Omuntu ali sensitive ataasa abantu bangi. Now you have kids who are very sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person. But my sensitivity eyambye abantu bangi ne bataasa okufa. Ezo ze muyita entondo. That is an element Katonda gye yatutonda nayo. Nga bw'oba otegedde engeri gy'ogikozesaamu egenda kutaasa family yo n'emikwano gyo. My being sensitive has helped nations obutagenda mu bintu ebimu. abawuliriza. Ne kati gwe ewammwe temubirina ate tobitegeera kati n'okozesa ekyo sitaani akituddemu, and my friends have destroyed me using that because they cannot stand. Tebasangangako muntu nze before the US, before nga sinaddamu kulwala, it would be rare okunsanga nga nkaaba, abantu abandabyeko nga nkaaba mbeera neekwese, and those are personal friends. Ate abamu nali manyi they are my personal friends, naye mu COVID namanya nti I am not. They used it against me. They used my weaknesses, my bad health against me, and that almost killed me. Kati kanyambe abaana bammwe kubanga they've also made friends, and you don't choose friends for your kids. So that's why most of you are seeing me out, because most of you have never seen the other side of Esther. Because when we walked, you never met the real Esther. You actually met my grandmother. Now this is the real deal. This is the real deal. You never met the real me. Those who saw me before the US, the 31 years, you met my grandmother, the sister to my grandfather, my dad's auntie. Because when I was taken to be given names, she held me tight and she transferred herself. You'll only understand that. I want you to look at your kids and ask who gave them names. I want you to look at your kids. Pay attention. You're going to see the person who gave your kids names in your child. You're going to see your own friends in your kids, and it's going to be tight. Nze kankuyambe. Sorry. We love our friends. I love my friends. But we love hiding. When I leave home like this, you will not know. Most of you didn't know me. Some of you know the quiet Esther, akolenye emirimu, she ignores and moves on. When I fell sick again, it is very interesting. I am sharing myself at the moment. Those are the dynamics. Those are things we have ignored, and they've destroyed our own families, our own children, because they don't. Tata teyamuyigiriza how to handle inheritance. Tata oba mama teyamuyigiriza how to make the right friends. Abaana batandika okukola friends kasita omwana omufulumya ennyumba we bati. Omwana muyigiriza ebya friends nga muli waka. Let your kids have friends in you as mama, tata. Let your kids have friends among themselves. We have siblings, but when they are not our friends. Is it possible? Yes, very possible. I know what I'm talking about. We are 4 back home, but I work with my siblings differently. And I had to look for friends in my siblings. My siblings are my friends. I have one brother, blood brother. Kati webine with the boys, God gave me a brother you have no idea. He follows me the second time. But my brother, God gave my brother things. I myself, sometimes I forget that I am the atheist. And when people find us and they don't know who follows who, they indeed baby. I want you to help your kids also. Baleme kugwa mu bizibu. Obayigirize, use your own experience with your friends. Omwana tomukweka bintu, omwana tomutiisa bintu. Omwana muwe the reality so that asobola okutegeera n'okumanya how to, cause omwana tagenda kubeera wo for the rest of your life. Oyo omwana agenda kugenda mu family endala. Then that other family has dynamics. How will your child handle the family dynamics? Eri gy'agenza okufumbirwa oba gy'agenza okuwasa. Most of you muyina ba in-laws, naye ba in-laws bammwe balina empisa embi. Kubanga ye gye yakulira, I come from one of the biggest families. It happened because of polygamy. Because bajaja ne bajaja balina abakyala bangi, balina abaami bangi, kati ne tulaba ng'ekintu kyatabuka kati. Both my parents didn't grow up with their parents. They grew up with either Jaja or Senga. And in that house of Jaja Senga, naye alina family ye. Kati ebyo byonna Esther has to put all that into consideration when she's growing up. Kati yonna side eba family. Kati taata nabeera ne family eya taata we, ate nabeera ne family eya senga we. Kati ne mama alina family eya mama we eyamuleka nga ali 1 year old. Then alina family eya jajja bajajja be bombi. They were sisters. Buli omu yafumbirwa enno n'ono n'akola eno. Kati nembeera nga nina eno family. Kati nze bankuza nga bantala everywhere. Kati kwegamba nina okuvaayo ne all those dynamics. Nze nga nakuletedde ba relatives bange mulimu n'ababo. Kati nesigala nga ndi family member all the way. Kati oba wamanyira n'onvumaavuma ogenda kusanga ku mukolo gwa family member nga nange family member wange nga ffena tutudde wali. Ate gwe tomanyi kwetonda. Kati wonna oba tomanyi kwetonda munnange nsaba kunsonyiwa byowa. Kati ate nze manyi okwetonda. Ate nze wemmala okwetonda wentuka ne family members bange ogenda kugwa eddalu. Kubanga gogenda kuba toyala. I've seen people nga bwobeere yogamba abantu tagginga. Nemba tunuulira nga baawo family member wange. Nengamba kati ngenda kusanga ku mukolo nga baawo gyali. Ogenda kikulu otya by down. Let us learn to ask for forgiveness, then repent and forgive. Those three work together. So that obeera free. Nze sinze nakugamba family member nga akukwane. Nze sina kugenda kugamba ofumbirwe mu family yange. Nze saaliyo. Nze mbeereyo nga mutambula byammwe nga mukola byammwe ne mumala nemwewasa. Ate nze Esther nze nakula nga njagala abantu. Kati ogenda kusanga ne ba family members bange nga mulimu omwami wo mulimu omukyala wo. Kati ate gwe tomanyi kwetonda. Abaana bammwe mbayigirize. Because it will always come back. And it's going to be hard for you. Nze Esther sesiba ku muguwa tebakulya ebinusu. Nina abantu abajjanga mu family yange bagenda ne bampisaamu amaaso bayogera bingi. Ne baddamu ne bansanga. Kati nga nakoowa nga mbasange waffe mbabuuza tebanzira. Nenkikoowa. Kati nabakuba akavululu. Tuba tutudde tuli mu party. Anti bangamba mbesibako simanya byakoze bitya mbabuuza tebanzira. I sit like here. My relative next, they sit next. I greet all my relatives and my other friends bose ababuuza. Bagenda okulanga kibali bubi. Nabo ne bambuuza ne ngamba next time. Bojjange ewaffe tojjanga n'ebikuluma. Eno gyozze kubanga nze wentuuka ewaffe ogenda gweri. Jajja. Kati webange wamwe temukirina. It bothers many people, but my friend, those are family dynamics. Gye wazze tewategeddeyo. I happen to come from a family where we support people. We use our own influence to help people. Kati gwe wakatulaba totumanyi. Nze ngenda kugenda kusabira omulimu eyo bakuwa omulimu. Some of you have connected you to my family members in a very interesting way. I will not tell you how, but I've done it. So those are things you have to understand. You work with my family members, nja kujja ku mulimu kusange. Nga gwe secretary wa family member wange. Ate nze sibuuka ranks. No. I respect people at their workplace. Sijja kujja mbunula okuba family member wange. Nedda mukwano. Ye gwe secretary waffe tukuwa ekitiibwa era nja kubuuza kugambe nze kulaba gundi. Ongambe hold on omanye mbeera ku mirimu gyammwe mulina engeri gye mweyisa. Ongambe hold on ngambe okay. Kati jjukira ngenda okujja nga namukubira dde essimu. Kati ontuuzaawo nnindi somanyi ba secretary olumu temwebeerera. Era nze nja kutuula nninde kubanga gwe mulimu gwange. Nga bwe nkyatinga n'omuntu wange ku ssimu ajja kumbuuza nga bw'ompisizza. Kansuubire omulimu gwonna ogusigaza. That is how it works. I want you, in other families, it's going to happen to you. But how do you sort such a thing out? Most of you have lost your jobs. You've lost. There is a family member of mine. Yagena nakola ne mukwano gwange. Ate nagena nakozesa omumwa gwe. Yajja nawasa mu family yaffe. Nze ndi wano nayogera ebimpi n'ebiwanvu. Bantuuza mu bigambo byo sinaako mutwe n'amagulu. Nina omuze nga nkubira akyali wange. Nga mugamba bino ne bino ne bino ne bino. What's going on? Nangamba ogambye ki? My friend got annoyed. Nangamba namfunidde ne project ngenda gimujjako ne mugamba don't. Let's handle this ng'abantu abakulu. Ne mugamba don't. We are all raised different. Because I first talked to my family member. Nayogera ne mugamba but tukuze ffenna omuntu oli yajja buze mu family. I don't allow outsiders to step in my love with my family members. I will not choose you. I'll be honest with you. I will not choose you. Many times, our friends have gotten in the way of our love with my family members. I am the type. I don't blame any of you. All I do is apologize to the friend and my family. Then, when it's family time, it's family time. I don't know you. I'll listen. I don't defend my family members. I don't do that. I always listen. Then I advise you. I wear the shoes of a friend and I advise you. But if I dare wear the shoes of family, it's going to be something else. I'm a judge of where I come from. You come and complain about my relatives, I will listen and I'll advise you. But I will never destroy the reputation of my family member. Because yamanyi bwengwa kukubo yagenda okunzirukirira gwe togenda mbalabye. My friends almost killed me. They defended their families. Nze nefuuka omubi kati kanjigiriza abaana bo so that they learn how to handle things. I handled the matter ng'omuntu omukulu. For them they did not. It's all over, by the way. I told you when you sit in my class and you're offended, just know you have a problem and you need to sort it. Kubanga mwete mumanyi gamba, I am sorry. No one has sent me a message to say they are sorry for what they did in 2020. That part by engeri gye bagicovering and they move on. Because Tina mentality, forgive, forget and move on. Unfortunately, the devil sits in there and destroys you. We can no longer laugh the way we used to laugh. Ebigambo byatambula, my reputation was destroyed. I had to come out because no one was going to defend me. Because abantu abatamanyi, mumanyi ndi ngoma, kati engoma bw'ogikuba ensi yonna ewulira. Mwankuba ensi, mwampa platform, gye nali saagala. Because I love being private. And God wanted me out and I had refused. So, next time, I want you to sort your issues ng'abantu abakulu. Ebintu kasita muyingira mu lugambo lw'essimu nga mukozesa social media. Gwatandisa olugambo, you're going to be destroyed. Nze bw'oyingira to destroy me. Destroy my reputation. When I come out, I speak the truth. I have a very sharp memory. I'm going to tell you the day I met you and what we talked about. So careful ng'otambuza ebigambo bya binkwano gyo. Twakoya abantu abalina olugambo aboonona reputation z'abantu. Be careful. Kubanga ngenda kuwa olunaku lwe nakusanga. Nja kuwa n'olugoye lwe wali oyambadde. My memory goes as far as 1988. People have been blaming me oleeta enjiri mu groups kyekirwa ky'abantu badduka nedda mukwano. If it's 100%, 70% of the men and women abadduse mu groups have disrespected me gy'otali. Kyekibaddusa. Baatuula ne batandika okunjogirako ne bateeka obwerere bwange obweru gye siri. Ebigambo ne bikomawo ne bintuukako. They are running because they are guilty. Kati gwe tobimanye yakanteeka ku gurupu. Kati njagala owolereza ekintu ng'omanyi gye kiva, njagala nnyo sauce. kubanga source waliyo eddagala. Families, your dynamics, they come from the source you don't know. Some of you are who you are because of your sources, your roots. Tata wamwe yali mujerezi. Tata wamwe ngali arrogant. It came following you in your DNA. Tata nga tawa baganda bekitiibwa. Kubanga tata we yalina akasente mu family. Omanyi sente ene etuma. Tubalina bonna amaanyi abali arrogant because of money. Because of big deals. Mkwano, nze nakugambye I come from the biggest family. Kati ebyo byoweeraga neka arrogance ko towa abantu kitiibwa abamu temuli shy to come out to attack me n'okozesa abantu abalala nze Esther. Omanyi abamu temumanyi kwogera. Just come out ogambe nti Esther okoze kino ne kino ne kino. Don't hide behind English, don't hide behind Luganda. Katonda yampa 6 senses. Omuntu bwaba kuba omuntu buli omu kiba obvious. Ate abamu temumanyi kusoma. I write very fast. Ninayo group emwe kwe nali ntudde ne mbagamba, we call it iron sharpens iron. Ne mugamba bw'obanga when I write something and you don't understand it and you're answering me back, before you answer back, go back gye twatandikidde. I love the source. Ojengo osoma, follow the thread. I am one person anyumirwa okunyumya nzekka. Ogenda kusanga 100 messages nga nze njogera naye nga mulimu abantu abasukka mu babiri. I ask questions nenzida. Many of my friends got bothered. But that is me. You're not going to change me. Nze I've lived an isolated life in a way gy'otayinza kutegeera. Nga mbeera n'abantu n'emikwano gyange naye nga bye bakola tebinyumira naye nga bakwano bange, and I decided to fit in. Kubanga nina byenjagala mu bantu. Ne mbagumiikiriza n'empisa zammwe embi omanyi mwe mulowooza temulina. Nze nina empisa embi era eno sizoni nakitegeera nti nina empisa embi ne ntandika okukola ku mpisa zange envundu. Nze njagala abantu. I put aside ebintu byange ne ngamba oyo ayina olugamba ayogera nnyo alowooza yabitegeera ebyo yo character yo bad character yonna ne nkiteeka ebbali wenti ne focusinga ku mulimu. Bwe guggwa nga mpeta anti ngamba sigenda kuddamu kulaba sikyo naye ng'omulimu guwedde. I have an assignment with you. Ngenda kusa the fact that kubanga I have your friends abatasobola to stand you. Era nga ye yakublockinga n'agamba toyina ky'omugattako n'akublockinga mba maanyi nga ye tasonyiwa. Naye unfortunately nga naye akola ebibi ate nga ayagala omusonyiwa. Kati ne ngamba naawe okole toli perfect. Naye you cannot talk to your friend anymore. Oh my, those are things we've neglected, and for us we think we are too holy. Nze mnange nakugambye mbootiisatiisa sikyali. Level ya kuntiisatiisa yaggwako dda. Gye wansanga nali soogera nze when I answer back it's 5. Nina gwe nabuuza ne mugamba mmwe nga muddamu. Nze lwaki bwe nziramu it's a problem. But God had to deal with me because he knows the kind of person I am. Because when I answer back in family and in friends, nze mwagala okumbuulirira ate mba mumbuulira soogera seewolereza. I used to wonder ne ngamba naye Mukama nze gwe nze lwaki nze nze lwaki. Kama nangamba Esther, I want you, not them. That is Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 19. Nze when I answer back, nze sagala kumpaayiriza. Bw'obanga ompaayiriza tutula ku mmeeza njagala ombuuze twatandikiddewa. People came out ne bangamba mboogeddeko simanyi obufumbo bwabwe, abalala ne bangamba ebigambo byabeeranga bingi wabbye kino. Kati abandoopera abamu tebaabaddeyo, tebamanyi na bwe kyatandise. And what is so interesting, toloopanga kintu nga toyagala ngende ku source. Nze genda ku source nkubuulire gye namusanga. Nja kubuulira laavu yaffe ey'emyaka 9 ey'emyaka 23 ngenda gikugamba. nze sagala kusigala nga nnyiizi. Nedda tubeera ku mikolo gundi tayogera ne gundi ate mwatugambye mbu forgive, forget and move on. People don't move on. Buli lwamulaba bwatu ajeyo mutanga oyo musajja yanjogerako mwana, oyo musajja yangobesa ku mulimu. They don't talk. Bali mu family n'emikwano tugirina ku group oli tasobola ne bwe boyagala nnyo. But we love pretending. Kati Esther Solome ye ebyokupretending atabisobola agenda kukikugamba nga bwe kiri. That is me. Nakoa, because the real me was being destroyed. Nengamba, no more destroying who I am. I love Esther, and you never met the real Esther. Let's roll. That is how it works. Nawe yamba abaana bo. Let your kids be who they are. If people love them, let them love them for who they are, not what others want them to be. Kati abaana bo bawa bayigiriza okuweemula kagobako. Omanyi bataata ne bamaama bamutebeebereramu. Onywa walagi n'omwana n'omuyigiriza okunywa walagi. What is wrong with you? Why are you destroying? Oyo omwana wo oyo olowooza ayina amaanyi nga ggwe. By'oyiseemu omwana wo, ekisooka omwana wo ayina maama we munda. Omwana wo ayina taata we munda. Don't teach kids things that are going to destroy them. Abaana abasinga boonoonese, not because they should. Oba onywa walagiwo onywa walagiwo, tomuleeta mu baana. Abaana tebanatuuka kwesalirawo. Kati gwe walagi n'ogenda ng'omutambuza buli wamu. As in, lwaki mwagala okwonoona future y'abaana? Omwana oyo gw'olaba yali si mutamiivu, ne taata we yaleetanga akacupa nga akakomberera, nabiraba nga nkula. Nga babikola ne lava, abaana ne batandikiriza mpola. Nina ba relatives bange nga bakadde baabwe baafa, naye ng'okunywa omwenge kyava ku taata. Olwedde mumusaayi nga mwekiri. Mwana wa maama nga taata bwe yagunywanga n'agangayira, n'abaana we bagusonda. Ne bafuuka nuisance. Taata yafuuka nuisance, abakyala ne babeera bangi, taata n'afa. Ekyasinga okuntabula, basobola okwegulira bbiya, naye okuyambagana okusomesa, buli omu asomese munne tebakisobola. Era akasimu ndaba bakakuba wange. Naye bagenda okundoopa, tebeebeereramu. Kati ne baloopa omuntu gwe batategeera. Nange bw'ondoopa ewa ssenga, ayula shuwa ssenga, nkuweeyo. Sikirwamu. Bw'obeera n'ebizibu ojja wange, bwe mutuuleyo nga mutamidde nga munzirako. Don't you ever do that. My friends, bwe batuuleyo nga banyumiddwa nnyo, nga banzirako nga nfuuka akaboozi. Bwe babeera n'ebizibu, awo nze mukwano gwabwe. Lwaki temusigala n'ebizibu byammwe eri gye muli mu kaboozi? Ku Kaboozi FM. Omala nga mwe motivatinga. You cannot help everyone. Lwaki mujje wange? Mundeke nange ngaggawale. Muyina emikwano. Ate nze siri mukwano gwammwe. Njagala ebyo bya bintu dynamics zetu ignoring. We are destroying people abasobola okuyamba abantu. Omuntu wakola ensobi mutuule ku mmeeza, omugambe Esther wakoze kino ne kino, totuma mulala, tonjogerako. You have my number. Call me direct and we settle the issue. Nkubuulire gye kyavudde. Bwe mba nakikoze nga kibinja kwetondera. Mu February wa 2020 nina omuntu gwe neetondera. Eyasoma obubi messages zange. Kati mukulu we n'alyoka ankubira essimu nga amaliriza. Ne mubuuza omanyi lwe nasemba okwogera n'omuntu oyo. Kubanga oli ye mukwano gwange. Gwe nasooka okumanya. Ne mugamba yakugambye ekyo. Ne mugamba ebintu by'oyogera okimanyi nti nze nabyogera. kati gwe gy'ovudde okuŋŋamba nti no mboogerako ne okimanyi nti ebintu nze nabyogera ŋŋamba taasa omuyaaye eyali agenda obboononera famire yammwe ne mugamba next time yankubira essimu nembeera so vulnerable because nga mwagala nnyo n'alyoka ye nga nze saamanya nti sitaani yakyadde nze nafuuka omubi ne mugamba kati okimanyi nti omuntu bwati ne bwati nakola ekintu ne yeebaza n'atuga essimu ate nga saabagamba nti omuntu family member wange kati next time bwe mutandikanga ebintu by'okukola families careful nze bwe mba nakwogeddeko nja kujja nkwetondera nze neetonda nze nsobola okwetonda obulamu bwange bwonna paka lwendifu ate mmwe temusobola mwe byakwetonda temusobola mwannatu temubimanyi nze nga natandise kwetonda ojja kudduka nze wetandika kwetonda ojja kukweri I'm very good at it ojja gamba yiyi Esther gwe buli lunaku ofukamira iye nze taata yankuza n'agamba wokola nsobi wettonda naye gwe gye wakulira temwetonda temubimanyi wentyo bwe mbeera nga nsomesa kiraasi nno yatandise eti nze neetondera buli lunaku naye gwe tobisobola tobimanyi which is fine tutudde mu groups kyotayagala just delete don't make noise si buli omu atuddeko yo group nti tayagala bikuyombya it's a group it's not your house mu nnyumba yo gw'otayagala tomukyaza that's how it works okitegedde ekintu ekyo nze bw'oŋŋamba nti Esther toddangamu okunsindikira ebintu bye wano sigenda that is me naye we kijja ku gurupu si yo bw'oba gwe gurupu admin ng'ogiggala bw'eba yo kitegedde ekintu ekyo naye mulekerawo otwala bannammwe mu geyeena nina gwe nabuuza ne mugamba I am part of the group so I shouldn't type byoyagala okunsindikira lwaki gonsindikira vidiyo yo nga munywa omwenge nange ngenda kusindikira vidiyo yange nga ndi praise and worship it is that simple lwaki nze nzikiriza okuwemula kukwoleeta ku group ne pornography bw'oba okuleeta ate gwe bwotyo bwe wakula nkwagala nga bw'oli nange ngenda kuleeta Esther Solome I don't pretend and I love respecting people. Abaana bammwe mubayigirize. That is how it works. Ekintu kyenkola kiyambye abantu bangi. I sit on over, I don't know, I work with many people. I don't work with only you. You don't know me. Kati wabanga otambula n'abantu genda gye kitandikira obuuza ono yaani. Oba enjiri togyagala mbalabye nga mudduka ku groups kwentudde which is fine luli kyannumanga right now I just pray sikusanga ng'ofunye accident wonoofa kijja kunnuma nnyo onooba tofudde kijja kunnumamu katono kati ate awo mba ngenda kukusabira kubanga sirina ssente zirabirira baana abo ate ne bakwano baabo balaba bakweyagaza tebajja zikuwa ask me I know better. Nze ndabye abantu nga bafuna ebizibu their own friends tebalina kibabawa tebalina neŋŋamba mwagamba you are friends what happened you're only friends when you're happy kitalo mabeere neŋŋamba mbadde manyi nti nno even mu bibi eri nga bibatuseko you are friends mama chance kwako we nakitegeera nti nno temuli ba mukwano bw'obanga mukwano gwalina okubeererawo ekintu nga kikulidde ng'emboozi ekaaye mukwano gwo alina kuyimirirawo mu kituli nakuyamba nakutaasa. Naye nze sirabye bakwano bammwe nga they are standing ngo oli rotten. I stood in that gap alone. There are few people who can stand there nakuyamba paka lwekigguka. Very few. I know. I am one person agenze ku groups z'abantu nga ngenda ngamba abantu banange tuyambe gundi banange gundi yafiridwa banange your friends just look on. Ebyo bye bateeka mu social media nti bakyali tebakulimba. Nze mbimanyi. Omukazi talina fees kyokka alina ka tribe bali eri bonna bavuga emmotoka kyokka mu group yabo omuntu talina fees z'abaana talina n'emmere yakulya. Naye bonna we bambala wiigi n'olowooza bonna bakyateredde tebakulimba tekinatereera bali bubi nnyo mwanattu. Kiri bubi nnyo bambi. Nze kubuulire nze singa nali nina olugambo nga ggwe nandikutte all your private lives nenziteeka wabeeru. Naye nze gye bankuliza taata yagamba tebakola we batyo ne maama. That is why I've never released your private things outside. Otherwise, I can also be like you. I can if I want. But ngendo kutunuulira nga tekiteeka mmere ku ssowaani. Abaana bammwe mubayigirize. It will be very, very good. Abaana bammwe mubayigirize the dynamics of friendship and family. Kubanga abaana bo bagenda kusanga abaana bange ate omutima tebagugamba ni gwe gwagala. Kati olw'okuba nayomba ne taatawo nayomba ne mukwano gwange kati akaana kange omwana wo n'akwana akaana kange nendoka tochi. Mamanyi abazadde bakola we mutyo. Tokigeza toleeta oyo musajja wano n'obuuza maama lwaki. Maama tagenda kukubuulira. Maama yalwana ne taatawo. Maama yalwana ne maama wo nga basoma. Tagenda kukubuulira mazima agenda kugamba kimu baseze waabwe. Ogambe baseze waabwe. Nze mbamanyi ba selfish mothers. Agenda kugamba tokikoza. Kubanga baawe yankwanako. Ate agenda okunkwana nga tali ne maama wo. Kati ne bamunyumiza nti oyo nno gw'olaba yali ex wa bbaawo. Kati nze ne ex wange tetwayomba. Teri yavuma munne. Ex yakeera ku makya n'aŋŋamba takyayagala n'aweta. I respected it. I attend weddings of my exes. I attend exes bange bwe babeera n'ebizibu. I put a hand. Kati madamu tomanyi gye nasisinkana na muvubuka. Ale n'olyoka osonga omumwa. Ate akaanako ne kagenda ne kakwana owange. Noleko tula tekisobola kubeera n'omutunuulira n'ogamba lengera ffala. Buuza Mukama, do you know that there is work my kid and my ex's kid gwe bagenda okukola kubanga ffe byatulema era tetuyingiza bintu byaffe mu baana abazadde. I want you starting from today, go sort your issues. Temu destroying mulimu gwa Mukama. Abo abaana si babo. You're just a custodian. Gwe bwe biba laavu yakulema tolowooza nti n'abaana egenda balema. Naye ejja balema if you stand in the way and God is gonna beat you. Tojja ne kubeera ku mbaga y'abaana. Watch and see. That one I will assure you. Katonda yakooya abantu abayimirira mu kkubo lye. Agenda kukukuba omuggo. Ebisigadde ojja kunyumizaako bajjajjaabo. You'll be there. When God wants his work out. Kubanga agata family. Agenda kukukuba gwe. Ojja kunyumizaako abalala. Ze kubuulira. You be there and play around. You think it's a joke. God is not a joke. He will never joke. Kubanga tomanyi lwaki nawe wasinkana tata waabo abaana nga talina amagezi anti mubeere nga mugamba omusajja talina amagezi. Talina amagezi kubanga naawe tolina amagezi. Omusiru atambula namusiru. Pastor Tom yagamba oyita omusajja embwa ewasambwa. Wali olabyeko embwa ng'eri n'endiga. Mujja giwulira. ebyo bye mubeeramu ne bazadde bammwe baanyiiganyiiga dda bwe mukyaba mukyatambulirako ebyo bigenda bakubi. I sat down ne ngamba some of my family members ne mbagamba enough is enough. Nkooye. Nze mbakooye. Abantu abakulu balina kyusa engeri gye bakola ebintu byabwe. Mutudde mu eddaame mulikyusizza. Ate abana tembagambye mazima. Things don't work like that. Inheritance is still on. Buli anabba ekintu ekitali kikye kigenda kukulakira. I will assure you. Nze sikyabalwisa. Buli omu yesorting egyali. I know the truth of the matter. I know the dynamics. Trust me. Njagala muyamba abaana bammwe. Baleme kutunulanga mmwe. Ebizibu bye tulina mu families biri all over the world. Kati njagala ab'ebweru bampaane Esther oli wakabi. Naye nga okumpaana kutandikire mu nnyumba. Ye. Kitegedde ekintu ekyo. Njagala abampaana batandikire mu nnyumba ya taata wange. Lwaki ab'ewabweru bampaana nga taata wange mu nnyumba taata wange abeere nga naye nazaala omwana naye. Sagala ebyo taata wange njagala yabasooka kumpaana. Then mmwe abasigadde munampaana amadi. Era ewa taata wange bamanyi bampaana. Mama wange abeereyo nga mpaana. Kati goba ompaana oba tompaana. Kitegedde kintu ekyo. Omwana wo gw'omwekuliza. Bayibuli egamba nti omwana omusirusiru anakuwaza kitaawe nnyina. Omwana omugezi anakuwaza. Omwana omusirusiru anakuwaza maama we. Omwana omugezigezi asanyusa kitaawe. Lwaki bataata bokka be baba basanyuka? Kubanga omusajja omwana bw'ayonoona ku kyalo n'abba nga bagamba nga taata omusajja agamba nawasa n'omukazi omusiru. Nze nga bwe nkebeera mu famire ku sayidi yo taata ewammwe ye wali ababbi. Anko gundi nga abbye ettaka lyonna alimazeeyo. Njagala owayirize omukazi oyo nti ye mubbi ng'ate brother wo mubbi muzibu. Babeerawo nga bayomba. Omwana bamukutte nga batandika. Gwe musiru! Saamanya nakumanya nti nawasa omukazi omubbi. Kozadde abaana abasiru abaana bonna bagenda batusoza ku kyalo. Okigambanga mukazi wo mpola mpola. Abakazi abo balaba. Ajjajjiko kijja kulya. Mumanyire empola. Ze kubuulira. The last time I checked, your own brother or the brother to your father stole the land. Kati yole lekanira omukazi. Ate nammwe abakazi mpola mpola. Oyo musajja mumanyire mpola ajja kutuuza kugambe kasisita kukagenda keto. Mujja gwa duro. You are joking. Mujja kugwa duro. Nze sijja kutaasa nga mugudde duro. Sijja kubeera eno nga nnyumiro. Mujja gwa duro. Don't joke with life. Kubanga ebibi biri all over. Kati omusajja amuvume mpola mpola. Kitegedde ekintu ekyo. Munasonyiwa bwentyo bwe mbeera nga nnesheyalinga. Family can be very interesting. Ogenda ogamba kwa mubbi nedda mukwano. ababbi mbamanyi. Nze we nayingira mu babbi beewammwe ojja gweri. Ekisooka ewammwe temwebaza, temubuuza, temwebaza. N'obwana bwo bwe bunaabikola, I won't be surprised. Yeah, right. I won't be surprised, trust me. I will never be surprised. I've seen siblings nga byonna bibakola byebimu era sikyewuunya. I just know where the apple fell from. Mbeera eno nga nnywa ka chai kange, I sip on it. Ne ngamba, oh, okay, no wonder. Sikyakwewuunya nze. Nze ntunuulira abaana bo, ne ntunuulira baganda bo, nze neetegereza ojja gweri. Nze we naatandika okwetegereza ogenda ku gweri. Nze kasitojja n'oleekaana. Sireekaana naawe. I just look at your brothers, I look at your sisters, I nina omuzenze enkyala. Most of you, I went to where you come from. I know your parents. I know your mother. I know your father. Kati wakola ekintu kyonna ekinnyamiza omutima gwange. Nga sinnakunenya. Nsooka ne ntunuulira maama wo nenga ne maama wo ng'azanjagadde nnyo nampisa bulungi. Kiki? Kati ate kankubuulire bwe nzija ewammwe history wammwe yenna baamuŋŋamba. Embeera ne ŋŋamba kino nga kituuzo ate nze sikomaawo. Most of you are my relatives. Nze nagenda dde eyo ne neekolamu omuliro. Manyi maama wo ne taata wo we balowooza. Nze Esther njagala nnyo okubeera n'abantu abakulu kubanga njagala nnyo okumbuulirira n'enkola. Ntegedda kusekere ompita mmere. Nze we nayingira ne nyambala obugatto bwammwe, nze mujja gweri ogambe yiyi kiki ekigenda mu maaso. Nze kasitooleta lugezigezi, don't joke. Ebyo byowooza mbu abakulu, nze ndi mukulu. Nze ndi mukulu mwanatu. Esitanga okuliraani gye mbe nkulira mbamanyi kyekyo lwakisaze wammwe. Bekulira mbamanyi kyekyo lwakisaze wammwe. Kati mbadde nkusaba nze wonna osanga ewaffe nga bantuuzizza mu lukiiko ogenda kutya nnyo. Nze ntuula eri mu lukiiko ewaffe ate gwe totuula mu lukiiko. That is the joy of being isolated. Mbeera eno nenseka nga atalina magezi. Lwaki neeta? Waliwo nno bambi taati yakubidde essimu nina omusingi omukubira essimu. Nze ndi muntu mukulu nnyo naye munnange nasalawo obukulu nneme bufuluma nabwo naye bindetedde ebizibu kubanga ne bwe mba sifulumye nti ndi mukulu. Everything about me, the way I do things, y'abantu bakulu waliwo ne yannangira n'angamba weyisa nga mukadde n'esooka ne neegaana. Kyampitirirako ne neegaana ngamba omuvubuka gumanyidde naye nga yali ayogera amazima. Namugamba bwetubanga mbozza abakulu tojjanga. Nina bakano bange bannangira nti ndi mukazi mukulu nenyiiga ne ngamba bano abasajja bamanyira. Oŋŋamba otya nti ndi mukazi mukulu kati manyi sikyegaana. Kale mmaze kwesharinga. I love you very much. Abakwata time yammwe ne mujja mu bintu byange. Anti mbeera nyuze kakati tusabe ate mbadde nine sharing anti sina sharing. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We give you praise, we give you glory, we give you honor. Thank you for the person I am, the kind of person I am. It takes the grace of God for people to love the kind of person I am. I know I'm complicated, but every day I love myself. I fall in love with myself. It's such an honor to be who I am. Because when Nango Kusomuka, not everyone breathes. Lord, I thank you. I give you praise. I give you glory. I give you honor. Give me the grace to know your ways. Give me the grace to understand why you created man. Because you had a reason why you created a woman and a man. Thank you for loving us this much. Thank you for the people I have met on my journey of life, because there are things I wouldn't have handled. You've used different people. Nzokubeera omulamu singa nafadda. Naye weebala olwa opportunity gy'ompadde okussa. Tababadde bakadde bange kubanga nga they can't afford. Emikono gy'okutteko ne baasijanjaba. Many people are struggling with their health. Abamu nga kibakwata kati ne bafa. Naye emyaka 18 nga nina high blood pressure issues nga organs zange zikyalinamu. Ese olina omukwano. Abalala bali ku dialysis. Abalala ensigo tebakyalina. Naye nze no sparing. 18 years is not a joke. 37 years struggling with a poor health. I don't take it for granted. Bakwano bange abamu ne batuuka ne bakikoowa muwala asinda oyo. Naye oyina bondekedde. Who have stood in the gap. Yes, weebale. Weebale olw'abakyala n'abasajja abatakooye. Nezirayo nesinda ne bakkiriza. Nezirayo nesinda ne bazzamu amaanyi. Nezirayo nesinda ate nga sisinda byange nzekka n'ebyabakadde bange. Ne bakwata mu nsawo ne bajjanjaba kitange ne bajjanjaba mmange ne baliisa abantu bange eka. Yesu weebale. Nze bwesiriikirira ne tandika okwebaza neewuunya. Weebale Yesu kubanga oli mulungi. Kwebaza kwolwa buli maama ne taata abasabidde, abanjagadde n'obutamanya bwange n'olugezigezi lwange ng'abamu bwe baluyita ne banjagala nga bwendi. I have seen many struggle with the kind of person I am. Ebigambo ne biba bingi. Nengamba nazza musango okubeera nze nenjagala okudduka. Many times I've wanted to change my number. Many times. Naye ate nga nze nina ekinaayamba abalala. Neŋŋuma omuliro gubadde mungi. I've seen people baagala nnyo okubaagala. And I've walked with many abaagala okubaagala. Neŋŋumiikiriza empisa zaabwe. Neŋŋumiikiriza obutamanya bwabwe because we don't come from the same background. Neŋŋamba oyo tatange si ya muzaalo, oyo si maama wange. Taata bwe nategeera ekyo nekimpa okugumiikiriza abantu abalala. But this season hasn't been easy. Because there is a way. Nga bwe ntunuulira abantu abamu nga babayisizza nga bwe mpisibwa from the time I left home, 6 years. But these 3 years have been so hard. Because in COVID buli omu yeetaaga okubeera n'abamwagala, yeetaaga okubeera n'abamu appreciatinga, yeetaaga okubeera n'abagamba munnange you're hard working, we love you. Those words tebibadde bingi nga n'abagamba nti banjagala, they don't have time for me. Ng'ate we bajja bannyambe, it's me to blame. Nga they just send the blame. Nempulira nga akikooyi. Neŋŋamba ebintu by'oŋŋamba it's me to blame wabaddeyo. Naye Yesu, n'osigala ng'onjagala, n'oŋŋumya. Abalala gye babaweera hug. You've hugged me. You've patted me on the back. You've told me it is well. You've told me kijja kugwa. Abalala gye balina abaami baabwe nga babasuuta, babawaana, babagulira buli kye baagala. Nze neesigaza Yesu. Abalala gye balina baganda baabwe nga bali kumpi, balina emikwano gyabwe egibakima. Ne bagenda, abamu tebali ku public wing. Bali mu private, but somehow they don't know that I know. Nti bakyali baabwe babakima. Because in every group there is that loud person. Nga ye ebintu tasobola biteeka mu private tebakulya ebinusu. Ng'agenda wanika ekifaananyi muuli, agenda teekayo ka video muuli, and I've seen all of you hanging out in COVID season. Ne baŋŋamba kola ebibyo. Neesiriikirira ne ŋŋamba omuntu gwe mugamba okukola ebibye mukimanyi nti ali yekka. Amakanisa gangobye, families zicomplainings mu COVID. Naye what they are complaining about biri mu buli WhatsApp number y'omuntu. Everyone I know, everyone whose number I have, has the same message. Bali gye bayombete. Has the same message oli gye yamblokingite. Our celebrities abateeka enamba zaabwe ne batugamba send me inbox. I sent them messages and they blocked me. They bajja ko Facebook and they want me to share their things and they're excited. And I'm like, you will always stay a celebrity anyway. Because you'll always be a giant. But becoming a general, you only become a general in the wilderness. Lord, I thank you for standing with me in such a hard season. I pray that someone out there who's going through what I'm going through, they don't strangle themselves, because we've sent our own people into depression and mental issues because of our own characters. Kubanga omuntu wawa gwe mwogerera buli lunaku, awandiika nnyo ku gurupu ne mumwogerera engeri gy'ojja n'ogamba nti wano tolabawo kyamagezi, ng'ate buli lunaku mpandiika. You know, Lord, help us. And others don't see a problem with it because they don't follow and they don't read and they don't know how to interpret. Lord, I pray that none of my friends' child is treated the way my friends have treated me, because their children cannot handle this. Bible egamba ky'osiga okikungula. But I never want to see anyone's child go through what I've gone through. Mothers bampayiriza. Naye buli lunaku taata ngenda kusaba buli lunaku paka lwendifa. Abaana baabwe, abazzukulu baabwe, never to see what I've seen. When we leave the country, God connects us to families. Though when I flew my Uganda, nali nenda California, and a family requested me, Njemba yambe. They left a bitter taste in my mouth. Many Ugandans are like that, and many Ugandans don't want to talk to people. Kubanga tebamanyi how to forgive. They don't know how to forgive. And other people don't ask for forgiveness. I was requested. Nze sigenda gye batampise. I know the dynamics. Family members abatategeera how it works. they've disrespected one another. Bwe bangoba Tennessee, I asked the Lord, where next? Because I never wanted to be a problem anywhere. In Uganda, we are family, we are friends. Mu America, everyone for him, God for us all, and everyone for themselves. Where you told me to go, people did not know that I asked God and he gave me a name. They thought I just forced my way into their family. And some carried the anger till death. But Lord, I thank you for one thing. That every house Jenny nyemu mu America, nabasanga n'ebizibu. Ne level kwe nabasanga si kwe bali. Abalina abalwadde, abalina problems n'abaana baabwe, abalina problems ne ba spouses zaabwe, abali tebalina mirimu. Right now they are shining. Taata ekyo nkikwebaliza ne bwe nkaaba ntya nkikwebaliza nti buli nnyumba gye nnyingiddemu mu America, Ugandan house, abazungu, other people from other African countries, they are all doing well. That is where my hiding place is. Nasanga abamu nga balina abaami baabwe nga batabuse, abaana babasibye, nasaba ne babajja mu makomera, obufumbo ne butereera. Yesu weebale. Abalina abalwadde n'obawonya. Abali nga tebalina ssente n'ozibaawa ng'ebintu byagaana. Right now they are shining. Taata ekyo nkikwebaliza. I pray that each person asks God, why did this person come into my house? Every friend of mine I have met in my life, nga nabasanga byagaana, they are doing well. Because God uses people. Abatalina bufumbo waabwe baabufuna. Because I just walked with them. I stood in the gap. I sent money. And they are doing well. Taata ekyo nkikwebaliza. When we learn that you send people in our lives, nga balina omukisa, nga kwoyo omuntu gwe waleeta mu bulamu bw'omuntu kwagenda okulinnyira okugenda ku level endala, bwe tunaakiyiga tugenda yiga okwebaza instead of complaining. Because there are people be wansindikira nga singa nali saabasinkana, singa nafadda, singa bakadde bange bafadda. Naye n'obakozesa mu bulamu bwange, okozesezza abasawo, okozesezza aba engineer, okozesezza abasomesa, okozesezza aba accountant, okozesezza aba politicians. When I give you the network of friends I have, ogenda kumbuuza Esther, kiki okola n'abo abantu bonna? Trust me, I am who I am because of the people God allowed me to meet. Because each one of them added something ku bulamu bwange. Right now, when tunuulira wano wentudde n'ebyempiseemu, singa Katonda teyansindikira bantu abo, sandimazeeko. Lord, I thank you. I give you praise. The joy I feel inside, simanyi we nandikikose. Because we make friends. When we leave our houses, we have friends among relatives. We have friends from my daycare or kindergarten. Then from kindergarten we go to primary school. Friends change depending on what we want. Some we move with our friends from nursery school to primary school, and they stay friends. Then we walk from primary school to senior school or secondary school. And we make friends there, who not only stay friends, they become family. Because among those we meet, omumwe move spouses. Because when I look at our circles, many of my friends are married to their OGs. If it's not the OG, a friend to the OG. In church, because also church is family. At work, we get family. Wotuula bw'oti ye family yo. besides your bloodline. Many people bloodlines are whatever kwatagana. They prefer their friends than their families. Because we don't know what the word family is all about. Lord, I thank you for my family. I love it with all my heart. Because now the families I have exceed Uganda. But before, outside Uganda, Uganda will always be my family. Because I carry the blood of a Ugandan. I was born and raised in Uganda, and no one can change that. Because when we die, most of the times, people are taken back home. People are taken back home. Even before social media, we used to have radio, and would listen nogamba kampuliriza omuntu wange tebamubika Saalongo John ng'amanyi otubika bulungi kubanga yali amanyi Oluganda olunyuma. Nga jjajja agamba nti no twangu okulya emmere bayinza okubika omuntu ate n'emmere ne tukireka wano. Lord, I thank you that everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants to belong somewhere. Everyone wants an identity. I pray that we learn how to love people back. I pray that we learn how to reciprocate. I pray that we learn the people we work with. Not everyone wants to joke. Not everyone wants to be abused. Not everyone wants to be undermined. I pray that people learn how to use words, because there are words you don't say. Many times I send things on different groups and people don't chat. They don't chat back with me. But when their friends come, they chat. They don't know how that feels until it happens to you. And I'm like, Benasindi says, is it no sense? And when I come in and chat, they don't know how that feels like. But I pray that their kids never go through that, because their kids are weak. Because they themselves are weak. When we understand how to put each other's strength together, each other's weakness together, to produce the best in our societies, in our countries, we will stop the complaining lifestyle. Lord, I thank you because you're good. Thank you for teaching me how to love people, how to respect people, how to put each and every one with their character into consideration. I give you praise. I give you glory. I give you honor. Because not everyone has my thinking, has my mindset, because we think different. I thank you for every man who entrusted me with their function, with their children, with their parents. I thank you for everyone who has given me an opportunity to do something good in their families. I thank you for every man and woman who appreciates the kind of person I am. And I thank you for all those that have decided to point out all my bad manners, because they've helped me to grow. They've helped me to work on myself. They've helped me. They don't know what they did. I thank God for the season. Sometimes we think truly perfect. But when everyone points out your bad manners, growing becomes easy. Kubanga oli bw'agamba nti njogera nnyo, I have to go back mboze njogera nnyo naye byenjogera bizimba. Byenjogera bina gwe biyamba. Bwe biba bina gwe biyamba, we continue n'okwogera ennyo. When someone comes now complaining and naye gw'osindika weka ebintu, each person has a send button, has where you can type. I expect everyone to be active if it's a WhatsApp group. Bring something, whether it's a joke, fena tuseke. Eri abalala nga bo pornography abanyumira musindika nti gwe oyagala. Bw'oba ne business gisindike. Why do you complain when you bring nothing on the table? On a group we are seated on, kuliko omulwadde, kuliko atalina fees, kuliko atalina mmere, kuliko alina ka business kali staaka. Tamanyi bw'akasindika. Many of us don't know how to share people's work. naye mukama akusembereza omuwala nga ye agenda kusindika. I have been abused, I've been disrespected by people because of people's work. Bwe ndaba abantu ng'abo abalina content nga baagala omutambuza nga they are disrespecting me, all I have to do is to pray for their children. Because the last time I checked, their own friends don't watch their things. Their so-called tribes don't share their work. Now my part is to pray for their children. Akakyamama merabo kakyamulula kamenyeka kankwate ku bata abatannamenyeka. Because tata bw'agenda enkya, mama bw'agenda enkya. It's another story altogether. Lord, help us understand the dynamics. Before we go out to shout about Museveni, aleese obwavu gw'oleese eki. We all work. Ekintuuza mu diaspora to make noise obwavu Museveni kino, nze kiki kyendeese ku mmeeza. Because complaining when you're adding nothing, and you also want to be the president, you also want to be the next MP, you also want to be the next RDC, you want to be the next mukulu w'abakyala ku kyalo. Kubanga before you become the president, wali obaddeko prefect ku ssomero. That's how leadership is built. Nga tetunagenda na ku ssomero eka, what leadership role do you play? And how do you play it? Bwe tunaddayo ku basics, kubanga president atandikira mu family. Mama taata yazaala president, yazaala kabaka, yazaala teacher. Kati if tetute omujiji omuto tetugutendese, we are never going to change anywhere. Never. Because I've worked with dictators in a way I don't understand. Ningamba, before you go out there to make noise about the president of Uganda, the president of Sri Lanka, the president of the United States of America, I think the biggest dictator is in your father's house. Katuleri ne kalyoka katowa order, ne kalinyirira banne baako, kalowooza ke kalina funa buli kimu. Bitandikira mu nnyumba, omuntu agenda okukula bw'ati ng'obwa dictator abusobola. All of you are dictators. I pray that Jeremiah 15 and verse 15 up to 21, I will nze ngenda kujja ebyomuwendo mu bitali bya muwendo, nze ngenda okukyuka kubanga nze gwayagala, nze ngenda okwenenya, nze ngenda okusaba forgiveness, then I repent, so that every tyrant in my life falls down. Lord, I thank you. I give you praise, I give you glory, I give you honor. In Jesus' mighty name I believe and pray, amen. I pray the dictator in you, the tyrant in you, is ready for what's coming your way. I don't go to streets to strike. I just go to the Lord and I report you. Now you know the kind of prayers I pray. You want the president of Uganda to get off a seat? You're the one who is going to change, not him. Go read the book of Jeremiah, the whole of it. Going to streets and striking, the blood that is shed is on your head. Everyone who is inciting violence, the blood that is being shed on streets, it's on your head, and you're going to give the accountability. No leader sends people to death. No leader. You're not a leader. No leader encourages strikes. You're not a leader. I came out because I'm a born leader. You're not a born leader, and you're not a trained one. Now, any kid that is killed on the streets because of striking, you're gonna pay. Every man on opposition in the ruling party, you're gonna pay with your own family. Watch and see. You're not a born leader, I am. If my grandfather was not killed, that seat was ours. Watch and see. You want it? Look for me. Many people muwakanya my history. My own people who were not there, they don't have the history. I have the history. My great-grandmother was a pure king. But they erased our history and erased our lineage. They did not know that I exist. They've been looking for me for years, but the Lord hid me. The Lord allowed my grandmother to hide me by giving me her names and sitting inside me. She was a quiet woman, but when she speaks, you run. My great-grandmother did her things her way. People she never approved didn't get what I got. She decided to sit in me using her own daughter. And the Lord allowed it because the Lord knew that what my great-grandmother did is gonna produce me through her grandson, my father. Because when he gave his life to Christ, he did not know that God remembered the house. So careful, parents. And if you go in a family nga tomanyi dynamics zayo ogenda afa, basalawo ne batukweka mu bika to hide us, to destroy our legacy. Sorry to bust your bub. My great-grandmother bamukweka mu kkobe. And the Lord allowed it. Those are family dynamics. And they're only known by a few family members who can keep secrets. Sorry. Then they got the name, my curry, Nachimera, ogwo mubala gwa nseenene. And most of you don't know what it means. You just carry the name. Because bali bazikiza lineage. Gwe tewakimanyi. Naye oli ayo otunaka, Nachimera. Achimera otamusabira. Ajja kumera. Oba ajja kuwumba tuuta. Mumuyita muwumba tuutu. Kati nze kye nakola Nachimera ne muddaaba olinga. Kati ekutego walina singo entomanyi kye kitegeeza. You just think it biri mu dictionary y'Abaganda. Nedda, I wanted to stand out as usual because there is something I carry that you don't carry. I added my names. Nze bulijjo nga nkula before P7, it was Nachimera Esther, Nachimera with a single N. Solome mama yali aliganyi. Naye nga nannyini lyali mpade. Kati ate ne bakola ensobi. Ne nkula nga bamwogerako. Natuuka okuregisteringa my names. Kubanga kati awo P7 mba nettegeerera. Netekako Nachimera double N. Esther Solome. Kati tebakitegeera lwaki nakikola. Mama gamba nze Solome samusaako. Kamugamba nze namusaako kubanga nannyini lyo yalimba. And I'm the only child that got Nachimera Solome from the owner. That is why mine has O. Abala balina SA. The Solome in the Bible. You're either a sister to Jesus' mother Mary, oba oli muwala wa Herodia. Oli niisi wa Kerode. Kubanga bamukozesa Salome n'azina ne basalako omutega John the Baptist. And when I look at your character, kati buli gwe bayita Salome with SA. Watch the space. Either you're a sister to Mary's mother, to Jesus' mother Mary. Biri mu Bible gy'otasoma. Oba oli niisi wa Kerode. On her birthday, she danced for the king. Was it the birthday of the girl or the king? And because Herod was in love with Herodia, ngate that love was not allowed. John the Baptist yayingirawo n'amugamba sebo kabaka eyo lava afe ya nchamu. John the Baptist ye baptizing Jesus. When Mary was pregnant, she went to see Elizabeth. Elizabeth got married to Zachariah. Kati tatange ye Zakayo. tulina Zakariya ne Zakiyasi. Kati Zakariya Mukama malayika oyo yamugamba bagenda zaala omwana n'adautinga n'aziba omumwa. Yagwe Zakariya ojja kitegeera gye kikoma. N'aziba omumwa yali ng'ava mu lineage ya Levites. He was a high priest. Kati abantu bwe bajja yabaweenya n'akola sign language. Kubanga Mukama yamugamba ekigambo n'adautinga n'aziba omumwa. Yamugamba Elizabeth ajja kuzaala omwana. N'agamba kisoboka kityo omukazi omukadde oyo. Mukama n'amugamba kirayika gozanyirako tomutegeera. N'aziba omumwa gwabikuka nga John the Baptist bamuzadde. Ne bamubuuza erinnya ly'omwana tumuweeki. Mukama nga muwadde John the Baptist. Jesus and John the Baptist are relatives. Because Mary and Elizabeth are relatives. Olaba family dynamics. Mary we yagenda okulaba Elizabeth yali mukadde nnyo, Mary yali mwala muto. When Mary got there, John the Baptist jumped mu lubuto lwani lwa Elizabeth because Mary was carrying God. Genda osome Bible yolaba ebigambo Elizabeth byagamba Mary when they met. Nga John the Baptist ali months older than Jesus. Yabuuka mu lubuto. Months or years. Buli omu yali lubuto. Bw'osisinkana mukwano gwo ali olubuto. How do you feel? Over relative. How do you feel when you are pregnant inside the... Are the kids connected? John the Baptist connected with Jesus. Nga bakyali mu lubuto lwa mama. Gwakako bw'oyingira mu church nga akayomba. Mama atwala kya gye bivuga. N'obeera abakazi babonaabona nga bali mbuto. Everything about us starts in there. Before you're in there. Kati omusajja kuwasa. Careful family dynamics. Omwana mama bw'agenda mu bbaala omwana taleekaanira, mama atula mu bbaala ne bakikuba. Ng'omwana taleekaanye. Nze mpulira bamama basinga bakomplaininga ng'ali lubuto ng'ali mu church nti na mwana nagenze mu church. Omwana n'akyecha. Nedda omwana aba azina. Kubanga before that kid comes out, gwe cover y'omwana, gwe protection. Tekiragi agolowooza abakutawanya nedda. Omwana aba azina kubanga munda aba ne Katonda. Naye temumanyi bwe kikola. Omukazi agasijja kuddayo ku church, nze buli lwe ntula mu church omwana ansamba, omwana aba azina. Because inside it's about the child and God, not you. Omwana ayonooneka afulumye kasaba muzaala bwe bati obwo obusawo obwakuzaalisa akalwaliro gy'otaabuuziza Mukama oba gy'oba ogenda. Oyo musawo yakuzaalisa. Omusawo eyajja okukuba mama woli omwana gwezaalo wa 7 years. Yali doctor yava mu happy hour. Yajja ng'awunya taska. Yali taska Guinness. N'agamba tuli kuki okaba bikiggwe. Akolowooza kyamaanyi nnyo gatamidi. Nga omumazzi gaganye to break. N'amukuba omukono n'agiyuza nne. Oba bakola batya mmwe mubimanyize sibitegeera ze kubuulira what my mind tells me. Nakwatayo n'ayiwa amazzi doctor n'agenda. Kati mwana wa mama ne tutandika olutalo ze kati kunyumiza Labour ward. Dot joko. Abo bamama tebamanyi Labour ward. Mama amanyi. Nze manyi Labour ward. I got the opportunity. Dot joko. Before the doctor, we spent the whole day from 5 a.m. nga tuli mu Labour ward. Nali ng'anyo gendayo kubanga bali tebampisi. Ne kati n'agamba mumpitireko jjajja teyabagamba jjajja yabagamba oli kwenti naye. Dynamics zaffe za family ntuzisirisa. Ne ngenda. N'akaaba n'ennyimba nga bwe sirika ngagamba osirisi. Nenyimba, nesaba, neseka, nenyumya. Wenakowa nekwata esimu nekubirayo ku basumba bakwano bange ne bagamba mutusabire omwana tajja. Ne basaba nga bwe nyimba ngagamba munago okoye, munage ensonyiwa nnyo. Nkwegayiridde munange neyenenyeza maama we yafedda neyenenyeza abanange baby. I respect mothers. That day I was like, bwemba mbadde siwa kitiibwa maama wange yesaawa yenenya ne yeetonda. Mama we yafadde. Mama ye yasooka kufa actually mu 2000. Kati taata n'afa mu 2010. Yenenya ne yeetonda. Omwana twamuzaala 2013. Ne yeetondera buli omu gwe yali ayonoonye. Kyokka olubuto. Pushing a baby. My mother pushed the 4 of us out. Nze bulijjo nga bagamba ebibeera musanya nga sibitegeera. Trust me, now I know. I attended the labor ward. I know the C-section through my own surgery. But what we call pushing the baby, women, it does not matter whether you're black or white. When you go to the labor ward, they all go through the same thing. She cried, shouted, clapped. When I kept quiet, she says, you're tired? I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, where is the father of the child? The doctor comes after his happy hour, breaks the thing that has water. Then the nurses come in, the midwives. Now I'm standing this side. Push, 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 push. Then they told her, if you want to go for a long call, please don't hesitate. Just do it. She's like, eh. I'm like, yeah, they said do everything there. I'm like, eh. But they had left us a bucket just in case when the doctors are not there. Because they gave her that epidural thing. They injected me on my spinal cord during my own surgery. I was like, eh. Now when you come out and you disrespect me because I don't have a child, I look at you and I laugh at you with a big fat smile. With the C-section, I went through it myself. I almost ran mad. I called my friend and I'm like, Andrew, please tell me what happens when they operate a woman, because he knew everything. I'm like, I'm running crazy. Because now remember, they cut me open and it was a major surgery and it wasn't a baby because they touched my uterus. I know the experience of the C-section and I know the labor ward of pushing baby. I might not know the pain she went through, but I experienced it physically and emotionally. When I got out, we got our baby. I fell sick for a week and I told my mother I'll never give birth. She's like, I tell why. I'm like, huh? What I have seen inside today. And I went through an experience with another friend who has a child who I think is now 10 years. Me, I went to visit my friend. Esther loves visiting her friends in hospital, loves coming when you have lost. That is Esther's lifestyle. Now I get there. My friend tells her mother, tell my siblings to go home. They've never given birth. They'll be scared. But tell Esther not to leave. I was like, I don't have a child. I saw drama. I boiled hot water. And when that baby was delivered, because she also pushed, I am the type I encourage my people to push. After that first time, she told me, Esther, we are not trying this anymore. I encourage her. He told me I will never. 17 hours. She climbed the bed up and down. And when the baby was given birth to, the doctor gave the baby to the grandmother, and the grandmother gave me the baby. I owned the baby. I prayed for the baby. When I look at the boy right now, and the things he has done at his age, I just salute the Lord. What are your friends planting in your children? I held the baby in the corridors of Mulago Hospital. Jaja gives me the baby. And she's like, Omwana wamwe is there. I held the baby. I looked at the baby. I smiled and I'm like, you're the one who made me stay in hospital without even a jacket. I prayed for the baby. In the meantime, with the excitement, the baby started coughing. Now the midwife comes out. It's like, Joe, don't hear the baby coughing. I'm like, yeah. Then she's like, it is the air. Then they took the baby into the nursery. Now me, I did not know those things. I'm not a doctor. But I learned stuff that day. The baby inhaled air. Because Mulago is cold during the night. And we were on our upper floors. They took the baby into the nursery. Then tomorrow morning they gave us the baby. And Jaja said, Esther, please stay here. I'm going home to rest. I was like, and that is the first baby I cleaned in my life. I fear babies. I saw my mother, so I put in practice what I saw my mother do for other people's babies. I cleaned the young man. And I stayed with my friend, cleaned the young man. Then when her friends come, you know how we have friends who come, our happy people. Happy people. Our jungle ruwen. I'm always in people's wars. I'm always in people's Esther's life. God created me to be with people during the hardest times. Other people come in to celebrate. And now I know my position. I no longer fight. I don't attend parties. I am in the process line. And when I accepted that position, I'm one of the happiest girls ever. I love that process. Most of you have attended weddings when the biggest chunk of money is mine. But I'm the type, I tell my friends, don't talk about me. It's not about me. Because I want your day to be good. That's why most of you who have met me at weddings, I'm always doing work. Because I love my friends' days to be the best. That is how I was raised. Mama said that when you visit and they cook, after eating, wash the utensils because you don't lose a thing. That is me. And I have people who know that when Esther is at your function, just to be sure all will be well. Because I am the type. I will go check the drinks, go check the food, go check the cake, check everything, and also be an usher. Make sure everyone is seated. That is me. Because I noticed we have friends. We have acquaintances and friends. That class is coming. You sit in a wedding meeting and people pledge. I will make sure I am doing this. When you get to that day, the girls come dressed up in skimpy dresses. They can't usher anyone. And they attend weddings as very important people, VIPs. People who come wearing gomeses and kanzus. People who come wearing those dinner-long dresses. And for them, your friends come dressed. Please talk to your friends to swallow your man. The girls come wearing boobs are out. The thighs are out. Mugaba is everywhere. Attack. The dress came from Abu Dhabi. It came from Italy. Here it came from where? And I'm like, whether your dress is $1,000 when your boobs and everything is out, you're not smart. Smartness does not mean expensive. You buy very expensive things who is your designer? You bring the clothes you wear in the bar at the wedding. The wedding is not at governor. where you wear your skimpy dresses. You bring your dress code of the club at church. You bring it at weddings. You bring it at funerals. Who raised you? Oh, my goodness. That is why you are missing out on big money, you celebrities. Attempt muina magezi. You just say, Mwenze ndeko muli mugwange. Mugenda kufa obwavu. Obwo obusente bwe mulina is not the money. You think you're rich? Ate mwina abantu abatabaagala. Your friends don't love you. Abo bamama babatinkiza abo. They don't love you. Their own kids don't dress up like that. Baba tinkiza until you're hardworking. Those mothers are not mothers. Now let me tell you today. A mother who loves you will sit you down and tell you, Esther, the dress code is not nice. But mothers who don't love you, all they look at, yeah, here you're hardworking. Those mothers, I don't even know why they are mothers. Because they don't love you. Omuntu akwagala kugambako. Now our celebrities, this is the last. Not today, that's to come back and I assure you. The devil has penetrated our country through music. But because the so-called mothers in the nations, we have seen girls being raped and boys. But because no one knows where they come from, the so-called mothers of the nations have not come out to defend the women down there. When a celebrity is touched, they make noise. I was almost raped. Kegamba is a city important. Do you know how much value I've added to the nation? But when the celebrities are touched, and I'm like, the celebrities are causing that on themselves. And to some, it's a stunt. Because they want money, they want... I worked with all those so-called celebrities. And they tapped in. I just stand next to you. Naye ngeri tinno you took something from me. Ngenda kuba demotinga paka lwe munakitegeera nti ensi si yammwe. Uganda ya Mukama. Watch and see. I don't shout with you. They told you to go and kwetega. I'm in Genesis chapter 12. I'm in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verses 4. No soldier gets entangled. But since you're not a soldier, you're just a civilian. Watch and see. Uganda has to go back to the map the right way. The president that is seated on that seat will not move until you do what God says. Uganda, whatever you've gone through is here. In a book you don't read. It's a nation at the crossroad. This is 1995. I was in my primary 5. I had 11 years. The first time I got the first facial paralysis. I'm in this book. Some of you are in this book. But you have not yet understood the dynamics. Whoever is in this book, the Lord is going to carry you by force. I was pushed out by force because of my lineage. I know some of you who are in here. Embere gena kukunya. Till when you do what God created you for. To deliver Uganda. Watch and see. Before I go into the class started, oh my God, there is a section here. Where you are. Let me look for it. Ochitege. Go get the book and read it. You just take it and teach it to Chinese. God will speak through children. Before that, there is a section. On page 6, what will happen? The Lord says a time comes when we shall visit, and as we pray, the people in other bedrooms will not sleep. they will turn over in their beds because of the presence of the living God in the house. Then even the people that don't know how to pray, the people who have not sought after God, will come out of their beds and fall on their knees. Have mercy upon me, O God, have mercy upon me, O God. They will cry, this is my working, says the Lord. I don't do it because of what you are, not because you are worthy. I will do it because I have purpose to do it. If you will humble yourself, a time comes when the Spirit of the Lord will strike criminals, thieves, murderers, and prostitutes in this nation. The Lord was talking to Dr. Mlinde. Even as they walk on the streets, and they will get down on their knees in tears, and they will cry out for mercy. Oh God. The Lord told me that some of the people he's going to use in the nations, not, now this was a general statement. We've seen people kneel down, not so, in COVID season. The Lord told me that some of the people he is going to use in the nations of the world are still robbers, murderers, and some even prostitutes. But he has purpose to use them. If my church will humble itself and call upon my name, God will use. Okay, let me read that again. Some are even prostitutes, but he has purpose to use them. If my church will humble itself and call upon my name, it is not because of what you will do, but only if you humble yourself and stay in my presence. Humility. I will do a work that people will not believe even when they are told. God will speak through children. I was a child then, you were a child. I'm 37, you're 40. You're 45? In 95, you were a child. The Lord told me you cannot even ask of me to do what exactly I have purpose to do, because no one of you can imagine. I'm going to do a work that even the one I have told cannot imagine. I am going to especially use children. I will put my praises in their lips. They will speak my words. A time comes when they will prophesy to congregations. I will speak through children because they have humble hearts. I wouldn't be talking to you but for my grace. My people, you have put pride between you and me. Every man I have tried to raise has become a king of his own, has become a prince of his own, and every one of you is creating a doctrine of his own, a people of his own. Once I begin to use anyone, he thinks that that gives him a license to condemn all other people and restrict my working only to himself. Humble yourselves before God. I even reached to the extent of asking foreigners to come to your nation and pray for you. But your nation was too proud to humble itself. Hear me this one time. Humble yourself before me. Seek me like you have never sought me before. Break all that hindered you. Cast away all your stumbling blocks. Remove your idols from before me. Seek my face, and I will yet be found of you. You will surely find me if you will seek me with all your heart. You are not just going to beg me. It is I who is calling you. The Lord says, there are many things which you are holding until today, but everything I have not planted, I'm going to uproot. Everything I have not built, I'm going to break. Everything I did not start, I'm going to oppose. There are many things I did not unite, and these I will put asunder. No man will keep them together. There are also many things that have been divided by the hand of the enemy that I will put together, and no one will be able to separate them. There are many people, especially in leadership, who will stand in my way to try and resist me. I will break them like a reed and get them out of my way. Nothing will hinder me. There are many today that will be leaders, but I am taking the congregation from their hands. There are many today who have a name, but tomorrow I will uncrown them. Whoever will not humble himself before the Lord, the hand of the Lord will show what he, the Lord, is. God will use the humble nobodies. Everyone who exalts himself, I will humiliate. I am going to use the humble, the despised, the unrecognized, unschooled, and the nobodies. I will take them as long as they humble themselves before me. I will equip them. I will raise them up, and I will put them on mountaintops. When they shall speak forth, the nations will hear. The nations will hear the trumpets, and I will honor their word. No one will be able to hinder them, nor resist them. They will walk, and I will level mountains before them. I will fill valleys before them, and everything that shall stand up to oppose them, I, the Lord, will break. For I raise the humble and humiliate the proud. I'll read for you slowly. Dirty word. When I was coming to the United States, the Lord sent a young girl and told her, tell Esther to take that book. There are 2 books. The other one is for intercessors. The Lord has equipped me to train anyone. The other book is this one. No. It's this one. The Watchman Over the Land, Nicodemus Nwasima. When I made a year in the US, he got an accident and died. Nicodemus Nwasima is a missionary director of World Trumpet Mission based in Kampala, Uganda. He has served with World Trumpet Mission for over 12 years as an usher, intercessor, and a missionary. He is gifted in recruiting and training missionaries through his experience of missions. He is married to Sarah, and they have been blessed with 5 biological children: Emmanuel, Joseph, Eunice, and Joshua, Gideon, and 3 spiritual children, namely Esther, Sharon, and Claire. I wish you success and God's blessing as you read this book. How many of his children can train anyone? Because your father, when God is giving mantles, before he gives mantles to anyone, he starts in the house. Does any of his children train anyone? I'm listening. I've never met this man. I train. Trust me. When I start, I don't stop. The Lord told me to come with these 2 books. Dr. Mlinde, I've never met him physically. But I used to hear about the prayer mountain, and I used to go to the prayer mountain with my parents. We would go camping at the prayer mountain. I had a tent. It's still there. I have a tent and a sleeping bag. I come from a family of campers. The lady that gave me my names, one of her sons is the father to scouting in the nation, the late engineer Dan Chigozi. I used to go to Kazi with Tat on foot to go and see the engineer. I used not to mind about walking from Najana Kumbi to Kazi. All I wanted was to drink soda. Yes, we would drink soda, my friends, don't joke around. Pepsi. He was one of the men behind the Pepsi Cola company. He studied industrial chemistry. He was an engineer. In his family, among the children, he was the engineer. I am an engineer. My father is an engineer. Are you an engineer too? To all engineers out there. When we lose people, we camp in our own homes. While others are sleeping on the veranda in the tents, those big tents they've tear out. My family members bring out their tents and sleeping bags. It's a family affair, family dynamics. I am a scout. I give birth to scouts. He's the man behind scouting in Uganda. It was his idea. When someone dies, how far do you take their idea? The scouting I saw back in his time, let me be honest, is not the scouting now. He was nga bwayogera temuda. The scouting I saw back in the day, I wish you were there. Funny enough, in Mengo I wasn't a scout. I never joined the Zambogo. But my family members were part. But back in them days, 91, 92, 93 before he died in June. Tata, 93 I was in P3. The scouting I saw back in that day is not the scouting I see now. When someone has an idea and they die, do they die with their idea? Is their idea taken above and beyond? How is your legacy like when you die? Is there a child in the family that is going to take on your work with your heart? Yes, we've taken on people's things and everything, but the things we don't love that much, we don't put there less energy. Because we are doing it out of obligation, we are not doing it out of love. Did I go and do boxing? Have you seen me anywhere ngandimo boxing ring? My dad used to box. It's what took him to another school. These are family dynamics. My dad played cricket. Have you ever seen me play cricket? I played baseball up to a national level. I played with Kenya, and I was the best that day. 2000. Kenya won the girls, but we won. We won because of me getting a fly ball. And I was recognized that day. But in 2022, our boys played with Kenya, and we whipped Kenya in an amazing way. My dad was a good swimmer. Do I swim? My dad was into scouting. My dad is good with drama. Have you seen me anywhere in any drama group? Do you think I don't love drama? Have I taken it to the next level? There is loving something and you step in there and watch Twala Kulevendala. But before I take my father's things anywhere, I also have my things I love. I'm going to take the things I love beyond and above. Now, instead of taking the things my dad did, I support those in there. I am a sportswoman. When it comes to music, I love music. I come from a family where we sing. And the names I carry is the singer, the late Esther Solome. But because Temutumanyi, you only know the 3 people that sing. Solome, you know Navio and Bebe. And Mama Joanita Kawalia. Those are the only people you think that you know that sing. There are those who don't come to the private wing. Nga when they sing, venkugambye tebayimba. My father's house, only my father's house, nga twakikuttemu mujja kudduka. Naye ate Solome taata waayimba. He's into music. Naye ng'okuyimba kwa Solome kuva ku jjajjaawe Solome. Because Solome's mother can sing. Mukyala Lubwama abaana be, Mukyala Lydia Mugambi, Solomon Sengendo, they sang. Solomon Sengendo sang in the choir at Kaboa Church of Uganda, the church his mother and father built. And his children sing. Naye tomanyi bayimba mu family eyo, because music is not, they don't take it to the level of getting money out of it. Fe tuyimba just kunyumirwa na mu church. That is it. When I joined GMR to sing, I did it not because I have relatives there. I did it because it's a family affair. When my dad sings, mwebasimanya gospel artists. Some of you sing nemba ulira bulizi malowoozi teri kavaayo mwali mutambuzaako omulema nga muyimbamu. Tata wange ayimba nakuba eŋŋoma okisobola. Katonda n'atambula abantu ne bawona. Totejooko. Tata nga ayimba nnyo tena. N'agikuba. Totejooko. My sister follows me. My brother can sing. My baby sister can sing. When the four of us make a collabo, ne tutekamu ne taata, Uganda ejja kukwata fire. Is your family the same? You don't know. Okay. But I cannot do singing for money. You guys have a lot of work to do. I don't want to stress my small voice. Because tuliwa growth through faith. Tuyimbeyo n'oluyimba lumu. Kiraasi yatandise dda. Tuyimbe luno lwe lunsanyusiza mwana. Tuliyimbe mu lusuku. Kimu tekiwoomera matama abiri. But with the word of God, it makes everything about us work. All of you are either Christians or Muslims. But in the Christians and the Muslims, that is where we get others. They go into Buddhism, they go into witchcraft. We have witch doctors in church, we have witch doctors in the mosque. Then we have those so-called atheists. But they started as Christians, they did not start as atheists. All of you have Christian names. Tomanyi ne Genesis wa bintu. I know how it works, but you don't have any history of what you're following around with. Because where you come from, it doesn't matter. Where I come from, history matters. And funny enough, the one thing I did very well on my O-level, yet I don't like it. Yet I love it so much, but I failed it in school. I never wanted history at all. That is it. I never wanted history. Forward. I don't want history. I'll be honest with you. It's not something I want. Excuse me. I'm going to sing this song. Those who sing English, it's Rock of Ages. I'll sing it in my local language. I love my local language in an amazing way. I connect well with everything using my local language. I guess it's the same your side. I can do in another language, but I love my language more. I connect well. I get to the bottom of things. Wait. Siga. Sorry. Razireta Nedogwe Rock of Ages cleft for me. Razireta Nedogwe Oranyati Kiranze Omumwene Kwekera Omusaikwe Mwegwava Ebibibi Ziyeko Ponyamu Manyigabyo Ebirimu Ejengalo No kufuwa kwa moyo Namaziga gajenyo Emisango ngosara Sorry, emisana nechiro Byonna tebijawo bibi Gweweka mulukuzi Sirinanze bulungi Nkwesize gwewesizi Omwerere nyambaza Omunafu pechisa Lava bwendi omubi Nazo Yesu fabufi Zenganchali mulamu Bwendi tuka muguru Bwendi raba kwe Yesu Emisango ngosala Yesu razi olwase Kane kweke ngamukwe Siganga and Siga, what kind of seeds have you sown in people's lives? Whenever you walk, you're leaving something behind. What are you leaving? They are seeds of love. Have you sown any? Or wherever you go, for you plant hatred. Wherever you go, you're just a kavuyo kind of person. Wherever you go, you leave bitter taste in people's mouths. That is you. Everywhere you go, you're just a destroyer. You're destroying people's lives with your ideas, with your words. Everything we have came because of words. God created using a word. For us, He creates. For us, we destroy using words. Because we think we know English. Because we think we know Luganda. You can say anything at any time, T. You don't know how to interpret? I thought you were taken to school to learn how to interpret things you read. Tata said that when you don't understand, you ask. Now you've met friends. We have different thinking capacities. We interpret things. Most of you use quotes. You don't know how they interpret them. You say life is too short. So you eat your life. Life means live every day in faith. Live every day in faith. It is L-I-F-E. Live in faith every day. But for you, you're telling us, eat your life. I'm not about to eat my faith. You can eat yours. You're struggling because your faith levels are low because you keep eating the faith. Life. I'm not about to eat my life. I live my life so that I can live longer. In my family, I have grandmothers who have lived up to 128 and they die. And they lived that because they used to count sticks. Every year on their birthday, they drop a stick. When they stopped dropping sticks, she passed on. I was mesmerized. 128 in Uganda, in Esther's family. Does it happen in yours? Family dynamics. Omanyi mbere nga mwewaana. Naye wamwe bafiira ku myaka 8 mu 8 wa 5 3 nga mufiisa. Naawe oli eyo ogenda kufa. Naawe oli awo ogenda kufa. Oli awo ebintu tobitegeera walwadde blood pressure olinayo eyo gasukaali gakutawaanya oli awo. Naye lw'okuba mumanyi okweka ebizibu byammwe oli awo olina ekirwadde ky'omusaayi. Bw'oba sigwa kirina mukazi wo alina ekirwadde kya musaayi. Kati munnange n'obwana bugenda kukifuna. Muyina asthma, muyina sinuses oli awo. Ofeesa. Ofeesa biki? Nze sifeesa. Yes, now ofeesa. Yes, sinuses and asthmatic people are in my family. But how do we survive? We survive, my dear. We survive in an amazing way. We survive in an amazing way. We survive in a way you will not understand and you'll never understand. I told you, 18 years with high blood pressure. In your family, when someone found out they have high blood pressure, never genda ku dialysis. Ensigo never zitwala nezitabusi. I, Esther Solome. Since 2004, when I stopped games, nechindia. Interesting. Nechindia. I was in my first year. I was 20 years. And that is the year I started taking care of my family financially. I was using $100, which is 350,000 Ugandan shillings. It was being given to us as my stipend. For you, when you were at school, what did you use that money for? Esther used to hide. You do not know. Nga bana basinga manyi ndi mwana wa mga. Era ndi mwana wa mnene. Yes, ekyo sikijja kijjawo. Ndi mwana wa mnene. The way I carried myself. Gobuza binasoma nabwe kirakonyo. Buza. Siganga ensigo. Enchane mutuntu. Siga kaungezi. Siga nechiro. Linda makungula. Mumasaga Yesu. Tulisanyukanga. Tulete.